Our second speaker is from the Coral Triangle Center, Senior Marine Conservation Advisor, Mr. Marthen Welly. He helped government and the community make marine protect area policy work on the water by building capacity, training operator, and expanding learning site across Indonesia and Timor-Leste. He's a bridge between science, governance, and the people who use the sea. Let's welcome Mr. Marthen Welly.
Just in my hair. Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And then thank you for introduction. And also of all, I would like to say thank you for Delta Foundation that invite me and giving opportunity for sharing our experiences in the Coral Triangle related with the coral reef restoration. That CTC is not research organization. We are more focused on marine protected areas, including the capacity building in the Coral Triangle region. Before I start my presentation about enhancing the capacity of the coral reef restoration in Indonesia, I would like to show you a video related with CTC's coral reef restoration as a part of the UN Decades Ecosystem Restoration Challenge.
Hi, my name is Marthen Welly. I'm the Marine Conservation Advisor of the Coral Triangle Center. Coral Triangle Center is a foundation based in Indonesia with regional scope and global impact. We work closely with local communities, private sectors, governments to strengthen marine resources management, to protect coral reef ecosystem, ensure sustainable livelihood and food security in the Coral Triangle region. We are honored to be part of the UN Decade on Restoration Challenge as one of the leads for challenge number 10, focused on restoring marine ecosystem. Under this challenge, CTC aims to create a coral reef restoration demonstration site and training hub in Southern Bali, Indonesia, to gather and share knowledge and best practices for the global restoration movement, and to scale up the impact of restoration activities in Indonesia, Timor-Leste, and other Coral Triangle countries. We hope that through this demonstration site and training hub, we will be able to create a long-term marine ecosystem restoration project that restore coral reef, mangroves, and seagrass bed to a state that provides ecosystem services for both marine life and the communities that depend on them. We are working with several partners such as Reef Resilient Networks, Mars Sustainable Solutions, and the International Coral Reef Initiative to achieve this goal. For more information about the CTC's Coral Reef Restoration Program and Training Hub, please contact us. Oceans for the future!
Yeah, okay. From Australia, we move a little bit to the north, the Coral Triangle region where the CTC focus on. Maybe you know this area is the Coral Triangle consists of the 6 countries, the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Timor-Leste, Solomon Island, and the Papua New Guinea. Those is countries identified with highest marine diversity on the planet, especially for the coral reef and fish. And then to protect this area, because more than 150 million people depend on their life into this coastal and marine resources in this region, the leaders of the 6 countries declare an initiative that called Coral Triangle Initiative, or CTI, in 2029 in Manado, Indonesia. And then the CTI initiative has a regional plan of action to be implemented, and then CTC, our organization, one of the development and strategic partner to support the implementation of the regional plan of action in this region together with other partners. Yeah, as I mentioned before, CTC focused on the capacity building. From 2011, we already trained more than 8,000 training participants in the regions, in the Coral Triangle countries. We have 26 training modules related with the marine protected area, sustainable fisheries, sustainable tourism, climate change, conservation leadership, and also coral reef restoration. And not only training, we are also working on the ground in Timor-Leste and in Indonesia to facilitating establishment of marine protected area with the government and local community. So far, we are working in 10 marine protected areas, 5 in Indonesia and 5 in Timor-Leste, as contribution for global biodiversity framework 30 by 30, and then the total we are contribute about more than 400,000 hectares of the marine protected area. And then since 2015, besides we are working on through the marine protected area approach to reducing the threats on the coral reef as one of the conservation targets. We also combining it with the coral reef restoration program, because coral reef restoration program to accelerate degraded coastal marine ecosystem, especially for the coral reef ecosystem. So we are combined between MP approach and also coral reef restoration. Yeah, this is the map of Indonesia. Indonesia has more than 17,000 islands. And then we have the largest coral reef ecosystem in the world, about 50,000 kilometer square of the coral reef that contribute about 18% of the global coral reef in the world. Unfortunately, 30% only the coral reef in the good condition, and then the rest in the moderate and poor condition. So need action to protect and also restore the coral reef ecosystem in Indonesia. So this is a map of the distribution of number of the coral reef restoration project in Indonesia. We identify some challenge since 10 years ago, where the coral reef restoration project in Indonesia rapidly increasing, but there are several challenges on it. Many people doing coral reef restoration project, but the project is very rare that significant giving contribution for ecology. And then this is confirmed by recently study by Dr. Tris Razak in 2022 that evaluate about 600 coral reef restoration project throughout Indonesia. And then this study finds some challenges. The first challenges is sometimes coral reef restoration program is unclear the objective. What for your coral reef restoration project? For research, for awareness, for conservation, or for what for? And the second, the site selection protocol is not available. Even if the protocol is available, sometimes it's not implemented well. And the third challenge is about Indonesia recent effort difficult to be summarized due to lack of consistent report. Only few coral reef restoration has a very good report and series data from the long-term monitorings. And then project often not coordinated with wider network of restoration practitioners or scientists that just isolated and then not connected with wider scientists. And the last 16% only has post monitoring and maintenance activity. So with these challenges, this is confirm what we look about the trends of coral reef restoration project in Indonesia. And then as a response on this situation in Indonesia, led by IPB University in West Java in Indonesia, working together with more than 20 organizations from government, NGO, and university, including CTC, we developed a national platform, what we call that School of Coral Reef Restoration. We call that SCORES, where this platform provide all coral reef practitioners in Indonesia to sharing their program through the online. We provide this platform webinars invite a trees organization every webinar. And then so far we already make 100 sessions with involve more than 300 organizations presenting about their coral reef restoration project. And this platform also as input for the government to influence the national policy on coral reef restoration. This is related with the question the gentleman in the previous session about what is action to influence the government to making the policy on the coral reef in Indonesia. So coral reef restoration right now are the part of the national action plan in the coral reef management in Indonesia. And then the second intervention that we did, we making online training to reach out more wider audience in not only Indonesia but also in Coral Triangle countries, bilingual with Bahasa and also with English. We have two modules. One module is about general course of reef restoration in the context of reef resilience, protection, and best practices. And the second module really focus on Reef Star method that created by Mars Sustainable Solution. Why we are focused on Reef Star method? Because right now in Indonesia, using this method is increasing. Many people using this method because the method is very easy and handy, and then easy to replicate by non-scientists, even the local community people. But the contra is using this method only suitable for a rubble area. Non-rubble area, the substrate is not suitable for this method. For example, sandy bottom or rock or sometimes mix between sand and seagrass bed, not suitable for this method. And then the third intervention is we develop what we call that Coral Reef Restoration Task Force. We make in collaboration with Mars Sustainable Solution, Nusa Dua Reef Foundation, PNCI, and Bali Blue Harmony. We are making task force, and then this task force is aims to training to giving technical assistance on national park or MPA managers that conducting coral reef restoration using Reef Star method. And then this is the task force members from various of organizations, included us from the Coral Triangle Center. And then this task force visiting, we are within these 4 years, we are focusing on the Sulawesi Islands in Indonesia and also in Bali, because many coral reef restoration projects in those two islands using the Reef Star method. And then, yeah, this is the 10th national park that we already trained and using Reef Star method for the coral reef restoration. We were visiting them and then also training them, give technical assistance on following the scientific protocol related with the Reef Star method. And outside the national park and MPAs, we also conducting offline trainings for various of stakeholders, local community groups, NGOs, and also private sector like dive operators. We train them how to following scientific protocol in terms of implementation coral reef restoration program using Reef Star method. And then, yeah, this is the fourth intervention in terms of addressing the challenges. We are established what we call that demonstration and learning site, following scientific protocol on the reef site method, so people can see directly and learn directly in the field, having the hands-on experiences on coral reef restoration, implement the protocol in the field. So this is our one of the demonstration site that coral is growing in that area within less than 2 years. Yeah, we have limited time. I need to stop the videos. And then this is, we identify 8 potential locations in Nusa Penida marine protected areas in Bali, Indonesia. And then we choose 2 as our demonstration site. And this is the picture from the first demonstration site that I presented 2 days ago about the increasing of the hard coral cover in this site, more than 35%, less than 2 years, because the water quality is very good, changing, and then the threat is low in this area, and we are using a site selection protocol to choose this location to implement this program. In this picture, before, this is rubble area. There is no coral in this location, and then we put more than 500 reef star with 7,500 coral fragments in this area, and then we tying the leg of the reef star, and then if you saw in the previous video, we put the iron sticks to making the structure stable, facing the strong current, so they like webs, and then if the strong current coming, they can hold each other, yeah, something like this. And then less than 2 years, the result over there, this is the same area, the coral is growing very well, but as I mentioned before, the homework is about the variation of the genus and species. Mostly is Aquapora branching, but we found also few of the Porites in that Pochilopora and also Montipora in this our coral reef restoration. This is the result that when we are using scientific protocol on doing this site selection, that's very appropriate for the reef star method. This is the second location from our demonstration site in Nusa Penida Marine Protected Area, where we are trying the different design. We making patchy reef star method, and then we looking the progress. When the progress is good, then we trying to filling up the empty location with new reef star. So it will be connected, and then hopefully this area will be fully covered by coral after several years forward. So our target is to restore about 5,000 meters square in Nusa Penida Marine Protected Area in Bali, Indonesia. So it will become a demonstration and learning site. Our coral restoration program already become one of case studies published recently in May 2025 under this practical guide to restoration and rehabilitation of rubble and coral reef. This is under similar with Dr. Muhammad project from AIMS. This is under the Reef Restoration and Adaptation program. This is funded by Australian government and also led by University of Queensland, led by Professor Peter Mambi, and then Nusa Penida Coral Reef Restoration Project, part of the case study. If you want to get the soft copy of this practical data, you can download from that link, so you will get a free of the practical guideline. Yeah, this is I told you 2 days ago about we developed our center in Bali. We developed what we call that interactive exhibition using that what you call that ceramic coral to set up the reef star. And this is using the games, using the videos, so people can learn about the coral reef restoration using the exhibition interactive. And then when I'm here in our center right now, there are 2 coral reef workshop, and then that's add number of the visitors in our exhibition. And then this interactive exhibition, we are trying to combining between science and art, and then so people can also easily understand about what is the coral reef restoration rather than just hardcore science, and then people will not understand, and then we combine with the art as well. And then the last, this is we facilitating Bali Reef Restoration Network in Bali. There are 21 organizations right now in our island in Bali conducting coral reef restoration with different type of methods, like biorocks, like reef star, using the rock file, and then many others. This as a platform in the island to sharing about the best practices and also the progress of their coral reef restoration. This is not for competition, not to compare, but sharing about the best practices. There's many members coming from NGOs, the government, and also private sector, dive operators, also using this opportunity to develop coral reef restoration program embedded with like PD Eco Center program and also under SSI, making coral reef restoration specialty course, and then the business, the private, using this opportunity also as financing model to running their coral reef restoration program. Yeah, I think this is the last slide from me. Take home message based on our experience. One, to make success your coral reef restoration, you need to looking the key factors of the successful of the coral reef restoration. One, important to do the site selections. Yeah, this is related with the also water quality, tides, current, sediment, and also identification about the possibility to handling the threats, as well as to looking your coral source to implement this Reef Star method. Because Reef Star, one of the protocol in the Reef Star, you should, the priority, you should using the coral of opportunity surrounding, you found in surrounding, the COP. If there is no sufficient COP, you need develop nursery to doing the scaling up your coral reef restoration. And the method selection and understanding also really important from beginning to end. Choosing be carefully the methodology. Sometimes when we do site selection, that site is not appropriate for Reef Star. We will not push ourselves to do coral reef restoration in that area. And then also maintenance is important, and yeah, resources, what we have about tools, budget, human resources, availability, that also need to be considered when we are design our coral reef restoration project. And then the last, in terms of sustainability, support from the government and local community and other stakeholders also important to make your coral reef restoration program is sustained, and then getting support from other stakeholders. I think that's all my presentation. Thank you for attention, and then happy to answer if there is. Thank you.
Mr. Wiley, we have 8 minutes for QA. Anyone has question? Dr. Chen.
I'm David Chen. I'm from MMBA. I'm curious that the site selection, do we have the common standard for a site selection to grow, to do the coral restoration, both from Japan or from you? What's your common experience for the further suggestion for people who want to do the coral restoration? Thank you.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, we are using standard for coral fragment. We using the size is 5 to 10 centimeters of the coral fragment. Oh, that's not your question. Size. Size.
Which place do you choose for the coral restoration? Is there any standard for the site place?
For to site selection, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. In our site selection protocol, focus on the Reef Star. Beside rubble area that's suitable for the Reef Star method, we are checking also the availability of the natural coral reef ecosystem, because this is also important to become a coral source for our coral restoration. And so also looking the herbivore fish population that later will support the cleaning our coral reef restoration. But not only biophysic condition like water quality, sedimentation, but also looking threats in that area. Is there any management in that area that possible to reduce the threat? Is there any support from the local community and the government to support this our coral reef restoration? And then of course we're looking the others socioeconomic aspect like is that tourism activities in that area that also bringing benefit for local community and also fisheries activities in that area. Those are components we looking into our selection site. Besides also not only fish but other marine biota like invertebrates. We checking is that available invertebrate in that area as what you call that indicators for that area. Those several things we have a list of indicator for site selection, and at least I share with you several related with biophysics, socioeconomic, and governance aspect of the coral reef restoration.
Hi, thanks for your talk. I have a similar question, but instead of the site selection, how do you select the species that you are going to transplant? Because you said you were mostly working with acroporas, and then you decided to move to other species, because also species diversity is very important in the reef. So how do you select those species?
Yeah, thank you, Sarah, for the question. As I mentioned in our site selection protocol, we're looking the natural coral reef ecosystem in surrounding, and then we are looking the variation of the genus and species in that natural coral reef ecosystem, and then we are using that as our guidance to planting our coral, because we want to introduce new species, for example, from others area coming to that coral reef restoration only for what you call that, making more variation for your coral reef restoration, because yeah, as we know together, introduce new species genus in certain area will bring risk on that area, like maybe there is symbiome that included into that coral fragment, like disease and also other bacteria we cannot see directly, but that included into that coral fragment, and it will impact it that area. That's as our guidance. But based on our experience, the heart is about the massive coral, the life form. Now is we are still trying to find the way how to we planting that massive coral. For branching coral, foliage coral, that's easier compared with the massive one.
Any more questions? We still have 3 minutes.有。
我可以讲中文吗？
可以，后面有翻译。
哦，我来自基隆的海洋科技博物馆，我有2个问题。
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
OK。你好，我来自基隆的海洋科技博物馆，我叫刘玉文。那我有2个问题，一个问题是想请问你们用的那个瑞克珊瑚盘架，它是使用什么材质的涂层？然后另外一个问题是，因为我们在沙地种植珊瑚的时候，常常会有沙层扬起来，导致水变浊跟覆盖珊瑚的这个状况。那在种满珊瑚完之后，有没有可能说，有没有改善这个情况，变轻，然后防止沙层因为大雨或者是台风搅起来，这样子覆盖珊瑚的这个问题？谢谢。
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, if I'm not, hopefully I can understand well your question. The first question about the materials that used for the coral reef restoration using the reef star, that using the iron bar and then coating by sand. Why using the sand? Because the sand material is has similarity with the coral reef material, so making easier for the coral to attach into the structure. Other methods, not coating with sand, the surface of the structure, just iron bar is more slippery for the coral, so difficult for coral to attach in that structure. That's why reef star method using the sand coating to make easier the coral fragment attached into the structure. We are still using cable ties. That plastic also pro and cons, yeah. But based on our observation, that cable ties is not really impacted the environment in the sea, because the cable ties will disappear together with the coral growth. The cable ties will be part of the coral reef structure. But now Mars still trying, making research on the bioplastic that possible, replace the cable ties. But for the time being, cable ties is more efficient and simple and strong to tying the coral fragment into the structure. And then the second question about the water quality. Yeah, the water quality actually, I don't know, I'm not really a researcher. Remain the same when we are planting the coral, because the water quality is really impacted from nutrients pollution that coming from the land, but also coming from the boats. Sometimes this is not in our MPAs, but for example, in Komodo National Park, so many life aboard, LOB, using big ship, and then people coming, and then several days they can diving every day. And then one of the problem is when the boat is stopped in diving site, and then they are using the marine toilet, and then that goes directly to the site. That's why through the Green Fins program, our organization is national coordinator for Green Fins program, similar with our colleagues from Japan. We are trying to educate the dive operators to using the marine toilet in your boat, if you have marine toilet in your boat, not when the boat is stopped in diving site, but go to the deeper water, and then when the boat is operated. Yeah, because if sometimes in one diving site there are 4 or 5 boats, and then all the guests is using the marine toilet, that changing become toilet point, yeah, not become, yeah, like they have manta point, and then because of many boat and then using marine toilet, that's become toilet point. That's why we educate the LOB. Please educate your guests not using the marine toilet when your boat is stopped in diving site. Yeah, that what we do. Yeah, hopefully this answer your question about the water quality. We got lucky because Nusa Penida is influenced with Indonesian through flow from Indian Ocean. The water always changing, and then with the oxygen, and then the water always clear. Yeah.
Okay, due to the time limitation, this is sent Mr. Welly again. And then thank you for everyone's participation. Hope today this section can sparkling more idea and collaboration in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Wong, and thank you to our 2 speakers. We will now break for lunch. The next session will begin at 1:20, so please come back on time. So enjoy lunch, and we'll see you later.